presents us with the challenge to create and execute a successful public relations campaign for their 2010 census. We took off down the road to count after 6 months of research and planning. Let's start with some numbers. Here's what our informational community relations campaign achieved. Our road trip consisted of 19 events and actions. We reached over 4,000 people with our one-on-one communication. We communicated with over 20,000 people with our partnerships. On our Road Counts webpage, we had 800 hits. Through 7 radio stations, we were able to reach 300,000 people. And 15,000 people were reached through our Roadie Fresh Milk Carton PSA. We used approximately $250 of our funds and $900 of in-kind donations. The Road Counts will guide you through our road trip, driving you down the red, white, and blue streets of the Roger Williams University Bateman Team traveled, and the stops we made along the way to ensure Bristol, Rhode Island was accurately counted in 2010. Are you ready to join us on our road trip?
To fully understand the community's attitudes towards participating in the 2010 census, significant research was undertaken prior to jumping en route to the red, white, and blue road. Our first stop was to conduct a literature review in order to decipher what kind of attitudes passengers have seen in past census. From our research, we learned that respondents will not answer a survey honestly unless assured 100% confidentiality of the information they're disseminating. We also learned that many of the respondents are fearful of sharing personal information with the government. From this, we knew it would be crucial to establish a road sign directing all passengers down the road of confidentiality, specifically stressing the safety of filling out a census. We also learned from this research that ethnic groups are particularly difficult to reach due to language barriers. According to the 2000 census, there were 25,000 residents living in Bristol. Also, roughly 100,000 residents of the state of Rhode Island identify themselves as Portuguese. This ethnic group dominates Bristol County, which is known for its fishing industry. Fishermen settled in these port towns in the 1840s, establishing strong ties to Portugal and strong ethnic communities within Bristol. From this research, we knew that the Portuguese community would be a vital passenger to have on our road trip. We then had the opportunity to meet with a representative from the Boston Census Bureau in order to better decipher what passengers to bring along on our road trip and also what route to head down for the most effective impact on our passengers. She was able to help us by confirming our research results of the demographics of the town of Bristol and also helped us to better decipher and map out the specific areas of Bristol with the lowest response rates from the 2000 census. Knowing the Bristol Portuguese would be a key passenger to have on our road trip, we knew that face-to-face communication and source credibility would be the highest impact to attract these passengers along on our road trip. She also helped us to understand college students to be a very particular group difficult to reach. This is because college students are unfamiliar with the census because they have never filled one out before. So either they are double counted both at home and on campus, or they're not counted at all. From this research, we knew that college students would be another vital passenger to have on our road trip.
Our primary research consisted of interviews and surveys. First, we interviewed over 40 Bristol business owners, community leaders, and Portuguese residents in order to learn their attitudes about the U.S. Census. Opinion leaders expressed the importance and benefit of the census, but were concerned that it would be difficult to get Portuguese residents to participate due to language barriers and their fear of the government. Several of those interviewed also stressed the importance of face-to-face communication when trying to reach the difficult-to-count Portuguese population. So this knowledge told us that in order to gain the trust of the Portuguese residents, we would need to reach them directly. The results from our interviews helped us to formulate our survey methods and questions. When choosing a sampling approach, we used a multi-stage sampling approach. First, we chose Bristol, Rhode Island as our cluster sample. Then, we created a stratified random sample of over 800 individuals. Our strata or subgroups consisted of those in the community that identified themselves as Portuguese and those who did not. And we also focused on Roger Williams University students. We analyzed the results using SPSS, which is a statistical data analysis program, and we found several important patterns among respondents. For instance, those who said that they planned to participate in the census were more willing to share their information and less fearful of the government. Those who did not plan to participate in the census were fearful of the government. Based on this knowledge, we knew that we must reassure the confidentiality of the census.